Well, I click on YouTube and it was the second thing in line.
Okay, cool. Hey guys, it
Hello, greetings
says
and salutations.
says we're live, so I'm hoping everything is working okay. Let us know if we're 5x5.
Let
Make
us
sure.
know if we're 5x5. Let us know if we're 5x5.
Okay, turn that down first.
Echo chamber, echo chamber.
Yeah, echo. All right, we're good now. Okay, hey, thank you guys all so much for being here. This means the world to us to be able to do this. And we are going to start doing Thursday nights for sure at 6 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be having this the same, it's going to be like a series. It's going to be the What If series. So it should be lots of fun. If you guys have any comments or anything, ideas for us to talk about too, after the video's over and stuff, leave them in the comments, or you can email us at thepreppingartist@gmail.com. We've got two that we're going to do today, and they were both sent in by you guys, had
Somebody
told
said
us
pants
about
check.
them. So, huh?
Somebody said pants check.
Oh, pants check?
Minuteman.
You're not wearing any pants, are you?
I'm wearing shorts.
Well, I'm wearing pants, but it's hot in here right now. It's like only 60. Well, I mean, it's pretty warm. It's like 64 degrees outside, but for some reason it is like sweltering in this house. I
I
don't
think
know
it's
why.
warmer than that in here.
Yeah, it's warmer in here, but outside it's like 64, but it feels like it's got to be at least almost 80 degrees in here. I don't know. This Texas weather is just bipolar. That's all there is to it. But let's see who's in the house today. First in the house was Katrinka, so thank you for being here so early today. We've got Bama Jens in here, Minuteman, GMA Nana,
80 degrees in the panhandle of Florida.
Ontario Prepper, Coffee First Then Speak, Frank Short, Teresa Buchanan, Chris Marie. We're getting a lot of different people in here, so this is awesome.
Excellent.
Yes, great. So, yeah, just mark this down on your calendars. We're going to do this for sure on Thursdays every night. Every Thursday night. Every night. I don't know the rest of our schedule yet. We're trying to figure out some different ideas so that we can do some lives and figure out, and we can set up some different, for sure, so that you guys know, in case you don't get a notification or something like that, that you guys will know when we're going to be in, when we're going to be
So
doing
we're going to
this.
try this time every.
Yeah, this time on every Thursday for sure.
Okay.
And then we'll figure out when else we're going to go live during the week and stuff. Today, well, do you want to talk about anything before we do any of these? What's going on with us or anything? I got you off guard there. You're like, I don't know. We're still, we're getting really close to being able to get our property, our land that we're hoping for. So,
Trying not to get up our hopes. We had our hopes up for another property, and
a
of course
couple
it fell
years
through.
ago, and it fell through.
Of course,
And
our credit's better now.
yeah, we're working on the pre-approval. I sent in all the documents. They already did the credit check and sent in like proof of income and stuff like that to get pre-qualified. So we're hoping we can get it pretty soon. And I guess if this property falls through, then God's got another plan for us or
Yeah.
something like that. So I have to stay positive no matter what. But I really love this property. It had like 35 acres to
Yeah.
it, and it was all wooded.
Or mostly wooded.
Well, most of it was wooded.
I'd say
and-
probably at least 30 acres of it was wooded.
Yeah, and it's just so perfect and everything. So just really hoping and praying that we get this one. But
Plus, most of the property around this property is wooded too. We could actually go hunting on our own property. Maybe set up a place to practice.
yeah, we can set up our own range and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just perfect. The only thing is it's not going to be in Texas, so kind of sad about that. I don't know, but we'll just see what happens with it. But
Yeah. It's at Alabama.
yeah, it's in Alabama. So I don't know.
Which
just
is
see what happens.
a little bit closer than a little bit farther than halfway to Tennessee. So any of our people up around that neck of the woods, we can come up and visit.
Yeah, it would be good because then we can have meetups somewhere kind of where it's a little bit closer for everybody to come. Because I know over here in Texas, it's a little bit hard for a lot of people to get over here. So, hey, Mary Miles, glad you can make it.
That's kind of like some people don't realize Texas and Alaska, but Texas is one of the few countries or states,
Yeah.
state where you can drive 13 hours and still be in the same state.
Yeah. Like, actually, some of the places up north that we were looking a little farther northeast were still like a 6-hour drive or something for us. And this place over in Alabama is an 8-hour drive. So it's not even much different. Almost like we're in the same state really still. But
Yep.
yeah, we'll see what happens. So Kevin Ramsey said we'll be closer to him. And a bunch of people are saying that they're hoping and praying for us. So
thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
And I'll probably it's like one of the first big purchases. I'm going to get a chainsaw, and I'll do a little bit of clearing back in the woods, and maybe I'll build something with the wood I've cut down. I'll maybe set up an area where if anybody wants to come visit, camp out.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of land. We could have like a camp out there for beaverines. So, that would be fun.
Maybe I'll rent an earth mover and dig a pond.
We got a lot of plans.
Yep.
Bama Jen said we'd be 2 hours from her.
Oh, that's cool.
So that would be good. Yeah. Let's see what else.
Yeah, it's right outside of Tuscaloosa.
Hey Sandy, glad you could make it. Coffee first, then speak. I don't know if I said hi to you yet, but hi there. I think I pretty much got everybody. Michael G, Beaverines, yes. Okay, so today we got a couple of. Well, I had quite a few, and I had to like narrow it down and just do two this. Hope if we have time, we might be able to do another one or something, but we'll see how this goes. Got two different ones to talk about, and there are no right or wrong answers or anything for these scenarios. They're just ideas of what you would do, just so kind of know before the situation happens and stuff. Yes.
Well, Katrinka asked if we'd be near Tennessee. I think I googled it, and it's like 5 hours from Pigeon Forge.
Oh. Yeah, so that would be cool too, because then we could drive up to Pigeon Forge. Because we went there once too, and we met John, Prepper Nation, and we loved Pigeon Forge. It was great. We would love to live over there and stuff, but it's kind of pricey in that area, so a little ways away.
It's kind of hard to get 35 acres.
And yeah, that
in a
too.
price range.
Yeah, so. But yeah, that would be great. I'd love to go back to Pigeon Forge because that was a lot of fun. Okay, so the first one we're gonna do is okay, you know how like you talk about like children coming to your house and stuff during SHTF, you want to kind of be wary about that because they could be using them as pawns, and you got to be careful about that kind of thing. Well, going on the complete opposite spectrum at the end, what if an elderly couple comes to your door, like if the grid's down, an elderly couple comes over, we're talking like your 70s, 80s, like older, shows up on your porch, they're hungry.
Age is relative.
Yeah, well, they're hungry, dirty, kind of seeming like they're confused, don't know what's going on. What would you do? Would you let them come in? Would you turn them away and say, sorry, I can't help you? What would you guys do? I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. We have two different takes on it. One would be just us individually, and two, if we actually were in a community and had like a group, kind of like, let's just use The Walking Dead for an example. Like they would have like Alexandria or something like that, like a community like that. I think things would be a little different if it was something like that compared to just us by ourselves, because ultimately you need to take care of yourself, your family, your people first. That's your first priority. And a lot of times, unfortunately, you just can't help other people the way that you would like to. And most people are wanting to help other people. It's just in our nature and our DNA to be kind and to help other people. You're kind of going to have to get your mental, kind of ready mentally for having to turn people down, even though you know that there's a good chance they won't make it out there if you do. It's a really tough one because it's going to pull at your your heartstrings and stuff like that. Yeah, Kevin Ramsey said that's rough. That's why I came back here to protect the elderly. I know. And yeah, Papa's Farms, that's a good point. First they would bring them in and then run a series of questions. You definitely need to try to vet them and figure out, because they could be part of a bigger group, and then that bigger group wants your stuff and they're sending in decoys to find information out. That's always a risk you're going to run into no matter what. I think what you need to do is trust your instincts in a situation like that. If you don't feel so good about it and you think something nefarious or something is going on, then are you going to answer anything?
That's a tough
You
one.
need to trust your gut, I think, a lot of times.
I would probably, I might be cold-hearted, but there's so many variables involved. How much food do we have? How much water do we have? Do we have enough resources in order to supply them resources to live? Are they actually completely helpless, or can they do things? I mean, somebody to watch the kids, somebody to stand watch while people sleep. There's just so many different possibilities. It's hard to make the determination. But as long you got to take consideration your group, your family first.
And then if you were to bring them in, you're going to have someone that's going to watch them. Like, you're not going to be able to trust them completely. I mean, no matter what the age is, whether it's 20 years old, 30 years old, 70 years old, you don't know them from, Adam. So you need to watch them constantly and see if they're up to something. If you have like a big community, it's much easier to bring in people like that because you have a lot of people to watch what's going on. They can be a resource. I mean, age doesn't mean that you can't do things. I mean, that has nothing to do with anything. I mean, they could be really hard workers. Sometimes
they might
older,
have wisdom that would help other people out.
Exactly.
And you got to do it on a case-by-case basis.
But the main thing is, do you have the supplies and the resources to help them? If the answer is no, then unfortunately, you should turn them away because you've got to take care of your family first. It's just, that's the most important thing. You don't want to take away from your kids because you're helping someone else out that you don't know. If you have extra, then that's up to you, but you just need to be safe about it.
When I was
that's a good point. Michael G said they don't get in the main house; they get an outbuilding or a tent. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Maybe have some extra tents and just park them up in the back or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That way.
And when I was in my, of course, with age, wisdom, stuff like that. When I was in my mid-20s, I dated a girl that she had a master's in psychology. She said I had a savior complex, and my nickname before Rambo at that job, they called me the Good Samaritan. So I have to fight against that tendency.
Yeah, he likes to help everybody, people he doesn't know, and just everybody. So it's really hard. in a situation like that because it's just in our nature to help people.
Yeah.
And especially the elderly. Like, I just have a soft spot for them. I feel like, I mean, they've been here so long. They've had so much, you know, sometimes I kind of feel like they'd be like my grandparents or something like that.
Oh, it's
And-
like the last year of my mom's life. She came down to visit me. She was going to go to a assisted living facility, a very little bit assist near us, and figured out she needed constant care, and I moved her into my house for a year, and I was glad I did it.
Yeah, but that was your mother, so it wasn't like
Sure.
a stranger or something. But yeah, it's still the same thing, you know, you're taking on your
Yeah.
resources to help someone else. So.
And to answer your question, Michael G, it's I just looked it up. It's not in Tuscaloosa. It's like 16 miles south of Tuscaloosa, the place we're looking at.
Yeah, Katrinka, that's I'm gonna get to yours in a little bit. That's the other scenario that we're gonna go over after we finish this one up with the elderly one. So yeah, don't worry, we're gonna get to that one. That's the other one that we did pick.
Ramsey, you gonna shoot your neighbors? He says his closest neighbors are deer.
Oh. But I like the idea of Michael G said about outbuildings or tents or something like that, not bringing them into the main house. That's a really good idea.
Michael G said that place is 6 hours from him.
Yeah, see, it seems like it's kind of closer to a lot of different people over there and stuff. So let's hope that works out.
I had a realtor walk the property. Didn't go all the way to the back of the lot, but there was a really rough vehicle trail going to the back of the property. So I'm really excited. I've got lots of plans and stuff I want to build.
Yeah. Chris Marie said, that is completely different. Now, I will help anyone, but during total SHT of my family only, people will be desperate and do desperate things. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying.
I'm kind of leaning that way.
You need to take care of your family first. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I'm not going to take food out of my family's mouth to give it to somebody else.
No, especially if it's just like us, you know, by ourselves and with our kids and stuff. We have enough supplies for ourselves, but we can't feed everybody, unfortunately. So
Can't save the world.
yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm saying you need to be mentally prepared for turning people down and everything that comes with that, because it's going to be hard for you because we're not used to that kind of thing. You know, you're not used to being just kind of cold-hearted to people, which is kind of what you'll have to be.
And maybe it's self-centered to me, but like this place we want to buy, he can't see the house from the road. So, there will be people, like a lot of you people, will know where we're at. But anybody else, they drive by the place, they won't even know we're there. And hopefully that won't be a scenario they'd even come up to.
Yeah, it will deter people because the driveway is kind of so long and windy and stuff back that it's like people aren't going to. I think people in this situation would come to houses like in neighborhoods and little cul-de-sacs.
Well, they'll
and
drive
stuff
down the
like
road
that.
and they see a house and go, oh, there's a house. Let's go there and see what they got.
Yeah, and a lot of it will determine too, if you've got lights on in your house and nobody else has lights on, they know you have a generator, they know you have stuff.
If you have a fire and they see the smoke.
So you'll need to also prepare. This is kind of going off topic a little bit, but not really. You need to make sure that your house looks just like everybody else. It looks run down. Don't mow the yards. Don't have any lights on it. Cover your windows and stuff like that so you can't see the lights inside. Make sure your generator's not making a lot of noise. I mean, just different things like that. Because, you don't want people to see your house and go, oh, well, what's going on over here? And let's go over here, because then you won't have to even worry about that situation. Because people probably won't go up to a house that looks like run down, broken windows, looks like nobody's there and stuff. They're
Well,
just going to pass it by.
Like Michael G says, any new people, you've got to consider them a threat until they prove otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, you still might not be able to trust them.
Definitely. Like, even in The Walking Dead, the people in there and stuff, it took them a while before they could fully trust some of the newer people coming in, because you don't know them. You don't know what they've been through, what they'll do, and stuff like that. So, that's just the way it is. You have to wait a while until you can figure out if you can trust them or not.
Time will tell sometime. You heard of sleeper cells.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you need to, it's like with our family, the children, one of them more than the other. We're gonna have to keep a tight inventory of our supplies, control the supplies where they can't get to it, and then dole out the food as necessary.
Yeah, because if they think that they're hungry, even though they're not starving or whatever, but if they think that they are, they can get into the supplies, and before you know it, your inventory is like half of what it should be and stuff, and then everybody's kind of screwed on that. So you have to make sure that you know how much you've got, or you need to find ways also of growing more, making more food, having animals, livestock.
The harder work you do for the group, the more calories you burn, the more food you get. The less you do, the less calories burn. You don't need as much food.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, are we done with that scenario then, pretty much? Kind of?
Unless anybody else wants to further, I'd say so.
Yeah. Okay, and then the other one, now this one's kind of a little bit long, might be a little bit difficult, and everybody's going to have their own opinion about this too, and what to do. I was already thinking of some different things that I don't know if they're good suggestions or not, but here we go.
Somebody says some won't go along with rationing. Rick kind of at Walking Dead in the beginning kind of had a truth. This is not a democracy. You follow my rules or you leave.
Yeah, that's what we'll have to do. If people start saying no, they don't want a ration, or they want more, or causing problems and stuff, then okay, you can leave the group then, or something, because
here's
that's
a small bag of food.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, because it's not up for debate. This is what has to be done.
But then again, the bad part about that is you probably need to move right afterwards.
Yeah, if they leave and then go with another group. Maybe then what you need to do is tie them up and keep them restrained until you can trust what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying?
It's slippery slope.
Because if you do let people go from your group, who's to say they're not going to go find another group that's going to be an evil group that's going to come back and try to get all of your stuff. So, yeah. Like I said, none of this stuff is just set in stone what you should do. It's kind of a case-by-case type of thing. This one's a little bit different because I think we're talking about kind of like now what to do and stuff. What should a prepper do when they are, say, lone wolf, like involuntarily? They don't want to be lone wolf. Because,
good idea, Papa's Farm. He's saying setting up caches.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier too, setting those up. That's a good idea. But what does a prepper do when they're like lone wolf involuntarily because they're surrounded or living with spouses, family, friends, stuff like that, but they're non-preppers and they openly mock or even try to sabotage the prepper's attempts to prepare. So in a situation like that, kind of now, what would you do? The first thing I'm going to say is I still try to do these videos in case new preppers or people that don't prep see them, and maybe they can start prepping. But I'm starting to think that if you haven't seen what's going on in the world, the changes, the food shortages, the inflation, the everything, and you're not prepping and trying to prepare, then I'm not sure if you ever will. So, I mean, my first thought would be just try talking to them and getting, but I'm not sure, honestly, if that would work anymore at this point. This is another suggestion I had, and I don't like this because I don't think that you should lie to your spouse. But maybe if it's getting to that point, maybe you should try to pull out, like start up a second account, savings account or checking account or something, and start using some of that money, buying some things, putting them in like I mean, most people in their house have like little spots like in an attic or something like that where people just don't go all the time and stuff, and you can put some supplies away like that. That is one thought. I don't like that idea because I don't think you should lie to your spouse. I think you should be honest and truthful. But I don't have to worry about this because you're on the same,
Right.
You're in line with me. So it makes it a lot easier. The other thing is, why don't you tell them maybe like that it's not going to cost any more out of whatever money they're making. Maybe you give up, say, your Netflix, or give up getting coffee every morning or something like that, and say, I'm giving these things up, so I'm going to use that money that it would have cost to just get some extra things and put them aside. I mean, that's another option to do. Say that, yeah, I'm giving up these certain things so then I can go ahead and and buy these preps on the side and stuff like that. I don't. What do you think?
Well, we had this discussion beforehand, and at the time I agreed all the things we thought of would be possible. And then Michael G reminded me, says that if you're in a situation like that, you're not in a good relationship. And I know in things of the heart, it's hard to do. But maybe you have to, what I call, have a come to Jesus meeting, and say, and lay out, we need to prep because. And
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to go into write a list of different reasons. Go to your partner, your spouse, or whatever, and say, look, these are, and show them some data and facts and stuff like that, where he or she can't dispute it because it's solid facts, that you
and
found.
if they can't come around to your way of thinking, or at least come around to say, well, I think you're wrong, but I go ahead and do the prepping. Says, I think it's a mistake, but go ahead and do it. Otherwise, it's like, if they're really opposed to the prepping, I think you'd have to say, if you're totally against it, there's the door.
There's also, if you've got some land and stuff like that, or even if you don't, because you can do raised bed gardens and stuff, maybe just try to tell them you just want to do gardening because you need a hobby. You need something to do. You like to get the fresh air. Don't even spin it off as prepping or something like that. Just spin it off as a hobby that you want to do. You want to be outside, get some fresh air, kind of just get some alone me time or something, and do your gardening and stuff. And then that's a way to kind of get started in something like that.
I feel like I used to restore classic muscle cars. Somebody was talking about their Camaro, and she was okay with that. One of the few things she was okay with. And then I thought of something. Remember, I brought up another thing. I was saying, okay, do out the budget, and then you've got X number of discretionary spending, that extra money every month, they say, okay, we've got X dollars. Um, you take half of it and spend it on whatever you want, and I'll take my half of it and spend it on preps.
Yeah. Which would be for that person too later
In-
on. They
in the
just
long
don't
run,
realize
Yeah,
that.
in the long
but,
run, it would benefit the other person too.
Yeah. I can kind of understand this to an extent. Like, I've been through so many things. I've talked about this before. Tornadoes, hurricanes, everything. We got together and he had talked about kind of prepping and stuff like that, but wasn't really into doing too much. He had the weapons, ammo, that kind of thing. He was more into doing. And I kind of came to the moment to it after COVID hit, and I was like, you know, I think we really need to start doing something. Things are just, and I mean, so I guess I shouldn't say that if they haven't yet, they're not going to, because it took me. I mean, like it took me way too long to realize this. You know, I mean, everything I'd been through, I should have. There were many times when I was younger before him and stuff, like I'd been without electricity for months, couldn't pay my bills, and just different things like that. And never once had I thought about prepping or anything. So, I mean, I guess it's never too late, you
Yeah.
know? And then, honestly, I was the one that kind of told him, hey, let's start getting some extra food and doing this. And, you know, so I go to the store and I buy a little bit extra and stuff. And he was okay with that, and we were good and on board. But I like the idea about saying, okay, well, we've got this much extra. Here's your part. You do what you want with this, and I'll do what I want with this and stuff. That's like a good happy medium there to make everybody happy, because then that other person gets their money to
Or
spend on stuff,
say
and
you
then
got
you get.
X number of dollars, split it in the thirds. 1/3 for you, 1/3 for me, 1/3 for household upkeep, maintenance.
Just a savings, like a safety net or something, if something happens and we need that extra and stuff. That way, you know, maybe they wouldn't. Maybe find out what their reasoning behind it is. Do they think it costs too much? Because that could be an issue too. I think a lot of newer preppers, and it can cost a lot depending on what all you get and what you buy and stuff like that. It can be expensive, but when you start out, just get an extra can of this, an extra bag of that, you know, and you can do it fairly cheap starting out. It's better to have at least a little bit of stuff. You don't need all the nicest stuff. Like, I would love a freeze dryer, but I just can't afford it, and you know, can't get one. But you know,
and like, well, if we move to this property, I'm going to have some kind of major expenses: chainsaw, welder, cutting torch.
all the
Power
outdoorsy type tools and stuff like
Did
that.
I say chainsaw?
Yeah, you said chainsaw. Yeah, that'll probably be a number one priority. But
I used to take.
you're welcome, Katrinka. She said thanks so much for your suggestions. I hope that it helped. If I think of some other things or something, I'll email you too and let you know what else I was thinking. Yeah, I don't really know what else to do with that. It's really hard, but maybe just try going to them and, you know, I don't know how they couldn't understand and see what is happening in the world, though. I mean, on the news and everything else. I mean, even one thing you can do is just, if you have, say, a grocery receipt from like a year ago or something, and then you got one now, that's a really good way to show someone that they, you know, because you can see that it's just completely doubled. The same items, you know, more than doubled in some cases. And that might be a really good thing too. That would help kind of get it going. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Eric King, good to see you. My new Tennessee home. Hey, how you doing? Minuteman actually has a lot of love in his heart.
Yeah.
Yes, Katrinka, it is a really hard subject. And like when I first started out and saying about the line thing, I don't suggest doing that at all. I mean, I guess if you get down to there's nothing else you can do and that's what you have to do and just hide things and stuff like that, then that's what you've got to do. But I don't think in a relationship there should ever be lying between partners. It just once you do that, it just goes downhill from there, and it's not a good way to have a relationship.
Yeah.
I think that should be a last resort.
One of the fastest way to kill a relationship is not to talk and not to be honest.
Yeah.
I have nothing to hide from her.
300 survival. We found a property, but I don't know yet. I'm kind of excited about it, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work out. We're trying to get some pre-qualification going on right now, so I'm not 100% sure on that what's going on, but we're just praying about it. So
If it's meant to be, it'll happen.
yeah, exactly. Katrinka wants us to come to Tennessee. Everybody wants us to move where they're at.
Yeah. I'm looking at
I feel
Tennessee
so
as well.
loved. I feel so loved, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I need a drink. Talking is making my throat dry.
Well, if we do live or move to this place, I'm planning on doing several road trips to Tennessee and Kentucky.
Also, if we move
And
to
North
this
Carolina.
place, if we move to this place or actually any place, we're gonna have a lot of content for YouTube too, because we're gonna be doing a lot of getting everything fixed up and everything outside, and we're gonna have to move quick because I don't know about you guys, but I've got a feeling. I've just been feeling like I have to be so rushed because I just feel like things are snowballing out of control. We're moving too fast, and things are gonna progress very fast, and we're just running out of time before something really serious happens.
And I'm a pretty good carpenter. I'm a good mechanic. I got 2 years of drafting design and engineering drawing. Like I said, I used to restore classic muscle cars. I'm looking forward to projects building things.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Instead of restoring a muscle.
You got acres in Louisiana, 300 survival? I didn't know that. He said he's selling 20 acres in Louisiana. Does it have a house on it, or it's just land?
Is it swampland or is it?
Oh yeah, I forgot Louisiana. Yeah,
Gators.
The gators. Yeah. Mary Miles said, "I'd say Wyoming, but we just got 2 inches or 2 feet of snow Tuesday. Long winter. Wow, that's yeah.
Not a huge fan of winter.
Well, even moving to Alabama's probably got a little bit more wintry than we do over
Well,
here.
definitely more than here, but I don't think it'd be much worse than Wichita Falls was.
Yeah, here we didn't have any winter at all. We had maybe 3 days where I needed to wear a jacket, and maybe a week of wearing a sweatshirt, and that was it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been really mild here.
I don't think a lot of people realize that North Texas, with chill factor, it's in
Yeah,
below
North
zero.
Texas can get really cold. We used to have some blizzards up there and stuff sometimes, but down here, nothing like that.
There was one time I was at work and I got a warm cup of water and went outside and threw it up in the air and it froze before it hit the ground.
Wow. Oh, yeah, he said just land out there.
And in the summertime, with the jet engines running, all that concrete the heat index, 140 plus.
Oh, he says between Louisiana and Texas border. So it's actually probably pretty close to where we're at now. Then.
North or south of Shreveport. I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I wish that this property had was some kind of a water source, like a pond or something like that. He said he'd like to find about 5 to 7 acres with a good stream or pond.
I mean, I found a place that I wanted bad. They took it off the market. It was on the Louisiana border, and the back of the land was a lake, and the lake was actually in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
The bank of the lake was actually the border between Louisiana and Texas.
Yeah, that was a.
But it was only 3 acres.
It was only 3 acres, but it had like a bunker inside of it and a panic room and everything. It was pretty cool, but yeah. They also wanted a lot for it. It started out on the market at like what?
500,000.
500 or 600. Like
think it was-
575, I think.
Well, it was in the fives.
Yeah.
And before they took it off the market, they dropped it down to 3.
Yeah. But then they took it off the market and we couldn't try to see if they would go down on it or anything, so
Or if they'd put it back on the market at 300.
yeah.
And like I say, it had a bunker that the entrance was in the master bedroom closet. And it had a safe room.
Bama Jen, how do the kids feel about moving? Are they excited?
Surprisingly,
I don't think my son will be very excited.
well, I think he'll be happy anywhere he has an internet.
Yeah, as long as he can play his games, because he's a big game. He's got his Xbox and he's constantly up there. I mean, I can hear him hooping and hollering and playing his game and stuff.
And I would think
But
I would think Angel would not be wanting to move, but she's been saying lately that she wants to.
Yeah, she's ready to move from here. I don't know why, and I'm not sure if she'll like it because she doesn't like trees. I don't know. We were driving somewhere.
She's getting a little better about
she's
that.
She's getting better. We were driving somewhere and she's like, "Why are there so many trees all over the place?" I'm like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "They're beautiful." She's like, "No, they're not." But
well, plus it's like a 15-20 minute drive to Tuscaloosa, so it's like we can run into Tuscaloosa to the Walmart, eat at a restaurant, and go back home.
Yeah, I think she'd just get a little bit bored being out there by herself and stuff, but.
And I think the University of Alabama's in Tuscaloosa, maybe, and our son is very smart and will probably get a Scholastic scholarship.
Yeah, so maybe he could go there or something. I don't know. He hasn't really talked about where he wants to go, but yeah, I think he's going to be able to get scholarships and stuff. He's going to be in 9th grade next year, so we'll see what happens.
Definitely can't swing out of state tuition.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
she said, "Roll Tide." Yes, it is. Yeah, it's there. I'm just trying to see what's going on in chat, what you guys are chatting about and stuff in here. So, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about or anything? Or do you have any suggestions for next week, what we can talk about? I've got a few things wrote down. If you guys think of anything else after the video's over or something, go ahead and leave a comment about it or email us or something.
Never looked back, just got here. I'm here, but I'm late. I'm late, but I made it.
Oh, man, you're way late. We just went through the whole thing. Never look back. You're going to have to rewatch it now. Glad you could make it.
And like we said in the beginning, we're going to try to do this every Thursday at this time.
Yeah, every Thursday at 6 Central Time, we'll do this little thing because this is going to be a fun series. It's kind of fun because, I mean, you're thinking about things with prepping, but you're not dealing with listening to, like, more bad stuff going on and different things like that. This is just a fun way to kind of go through scenarios and stuff
kind
like
of
that.
A brain tweezer or twister.
Yeah.
And have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the whole goal of this series, is just to have some fun. That's what we want to do, and just have some ideas, think about them, like what, I never thought about like that, or different things. So yeah, we just want to have fun with it.
You don't need to apologize. Never look back. How many head you got? Um, we're gonna have planning on having livestock. What kind of how much does a calf cost?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about that kind
Me
of
either.
stuff. Probably a little. I don't know. I have no idea. I'd imagine around here they have like livestock auctions and different things like that. So maybe we'll check some stuff like that out too.
About the
And
only
see.
thing, about the only thing I knew about cows. Um, when I was in high school, my parents' land was up against a farm, and the fence got broken down, and some of the cattle got out, and I herded the cows back into their field on a dirt bike.
On a dirt bike.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's good. I also want to have some horses, but
Yeah.
I don't know about that because I know that can be really pricey. Like the getting a trailer and the vets and everything like that. So I don't know. We're getting ahead of ourselves right now.
Horse, the ultimate bug out vehicle.
Yeah, that's kind of why I want horses too. Perfect bug out vehicle. So, and they can carry a lot of weight, a lot of stuff.
This is about $1,200.
Okay.
Black Angus.
Oh, thank you,
Oh,
Katrinka.
years ago.
You said our lives are awesome. Thanks so much.
Yeah, we'd like to get 4 horses. Although getting the kids on
Thank
the
you,
horse.
300 Survival, for that. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like time is just time is running out. We need to get something now, so I'm starting to get really nervous and anxious about it. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, hopefully we'll find out something soon.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Well,
sooner
like I
than
say,
later.
I want to build stuff. I want to get some crops in the ground. I want to get some livestock going.
Yeah, so even once we get our land or property or whatever, we're gonna have so many projects to be doing too.
I'm looking
So,
forward to it.
Yeah, I bet you are. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you so much for coming to this live stream. I hope that you guys had fun. If you could please smash the thumbs up for us, give us a like, and if you have any comments about what you want us to talk about in the next one of these, just leave us a comment about it, or you can even leave a comment in the live chat, and we'll go back through and we'll read it. And if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and do that. It really helps out the channel so we can get another live giveaway going on.
I've got a larger prize in mind for, was it not 500? Or should I wait longer than that?
I don't know, for either the 500 or 1,000. We're going to give a little bit bigger prize. I'm not sure what yet. So we'll see what's going on, but I'm going to give like a pretty good prize for that once we get there. So
Right now, the budget's not there.
yeah, hopefully by then it will be or something. So,
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for being here, and we will see you later. And also, I will try to keep you guys updated when we're going to do lives. Like I said, we're going to do this every Thursday, but
Yeah, 'cause
we'll
I-
figure out a whole schedule and let you guys know.
Yeah, because I know not everybody got notifications that this was going to start today, when it was going to start. And that way, like I say, you'll know every Thursday we're going to be doing this.
Yeah, and we're going to come up with a couple more days during the week and a couple more times, and we'll let you guys know.
Yeah,
All right?
We're going to try and put out more and more episodes, product, whatever you call it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Night. Have a blessed night. Oh, and my video on grief, I might do a follow-up on that soon.